been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such...
And it's Thierry Henry. And Henry is magnificent. It's absolutely magnificent. And when you need a goal, you need Thierry Henry.
Suddenly change pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent.
So, good evening, everyone. As always, we've got the lovely Gracie Mae and Kenny Ken. But tonight we've got international. We've gone over to America. And we have Oregon Gooner, who some of you may have seen before on Lee's channel when he did the watch-alongs, etc., etc. And we have Arsenal Alex, top fella, guys, top fella. Go and subscribe to Arsenal Alex. He does some great content. Subscribe to Gracie Mae. Gracie Mae not far off 1,000 subs. Let's get her there very, very soon. So we're going to have a chat. We've got 10 days to the start of the new season. Palace away with Vieira, one of our legends as their manager, as we know. It's not going to be an easy day out. Kenny, you're going to the match, I believe. So we'll start with, and I'm going to throw this one out to our guest, Arsenal Alex. Oh. What do you think, my friend, so far of the transfer business?
Two good players have come in. So what is it? Gabriel Jesus and Shevchenko. I mean, the others I don't count. It's all right. It's not. I don't know. It's not really I don't know. I'm not getting carried away because there's glaring positions that need to be addressed that haven't been addressed, i.e. the midfield. The midfield is just not ready for the new season, and pre-season I'm not getting carried away like we were saying before. So, yeah.
I personally... Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
Yeah. So I'm not getting carried. It's all this. We've spent more than anyone, I believe, and I don't know. I just don't feel wow. I'm not excited, as Josh Kroenke says. I'm not excited. That's how I feel.
Well, I'm happy with Jesus. I think he's making an impact. I still honestly think we're weak in midfield. We've got to do something there. We have. Partey, if he gets injured, mate, we're in deep, deep trouble. And it proved it latter part of the season. So, Oregon Gooner, my friend, welcome from Portland in America, Oregon. Good to have you on, my friend. Been trying to get you on for a while. What's your view, my friend? What's your view?
I slightly disagree with Alex a little bit. I think it was an 8 out of 10 window. I think we did pretty good. We got Bill Saliba back. We've got a top striker in Jesus, who I think is going to bag 20-plus goals this season in just the Prem alone. He looks like he's motivated to play. We'll see what Fabio can do. I'm excited to see what he brings to the squad. But again, we still need, I think, Tielemans in or someone of that type of player, and probably another backup striker because I don't think Eddie Nketiah is the real deal. And I just think that it's an 8 out of 10. Still a couple of slots to fill, but I do like the progress that's happening. I'm not trusting the process. I'm just hoping that Edu can at least get some paperwork signed, get a couple of decent players in that can support the midfield. Because you're 100% right, Jez. If we lose Partey, I don't know who steps into that role. I don't trust El Neni to go a half a season, a full season.
Yeah, midfield's so weak.
Yeah. Exactly, Alex. It's we want two teams. I want a team that to perform in the League Cup and the FA Cup, and then sort of a separate team that competes in the Premier League. Sort of like the Liverpool model, where they have their starting 11 every game, but then mix it up for cup competitions. And that's the vision I want, at least for this season. But yeah, we'll see if we get Tielemans in, and then I would say it's probably close, maybe a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's ever going to be perfect. Nothing ever is. But I think it's an 8 out of 10 window so far.
Kenny, what's your take on my friend? I know you've been vocal about it. So what do you feel?
Well, I think, if you look here on paper, I don't think any team in the Premiership is satisfied with, with proceedings, because everyone's saying Tottenham had a fantastic window, but I've spoken to a lot of top Spurs fans who are good friends of mine I grew up with, and they think they're still dissatisfied with their left back situation. They still think they need a left back, and I think Arsenal's a bit similar. We have spent a lot of money, but if you want to be picky on one issue, the issue is right back, because Tommy Ash is injured, and then we're now having to how do I say it, toss a coin to see if Saliba will play at right back or Benjamin White. So that is a definite area that is going to cause me a lot of concern, especially against better teams, especially down our right. You have to have an orthodox right back. Tommy Asu, is he an orthodox right back? I wouldn't think so. I think his defender could play right back. So that's an area, definite. And obviously, Oregon Guna is mentioned as well, our midfield without Thomas Partey. There's a school of thought that says, Granit Xhaka and Odegaard look $1 million together, the way they mark the spaces and cover spaces. I said, yeah, that wouldn't have happened without Thomas Partey. People seem to, don't realise how much of a, influence and how much of a player he's become. He's come on a lot. He's injury prone as well, so you have to get another midfield in. That's why I thought the club were really careless for Bazuma. We still need to get that man in. I know last week when we spoke about Tielemans, we were saying, is he all that? Is he world class? No, of course he ain't. But sometimes it's not about having world class players. You always want world players in every position. You want to see, can he fit in my midfield? Can he go box to box? Can he protect my defence? Can he, create space so Odegaard can get in the last, third of field? Can he play alongside Partey? Is he an alternative for Granit Xhaka? Those sort of things I have to think in my head. And I think until we get that midfield sorted, and I say it with great regret that Granit Xhaka is not part of that team, I'm always going to think, you know what? I've got no beef with Granit Xhaka, but when I look at Granit Xhaka and I think over a 38-game season, Europa League campaign, and then you've got the cups and all that, and I think Granit Xhaka, is he going to be the one who's going to get us the top four? Is he going to get the one getting us challenging? He's a good player. He might get us in the Europa League, might get us in a cup run, but can he get us that, a bit further? Because he hasn't done it in 6 years. So what makes you think he's going to do it now? So that's a massive area of concern for me. And unfortunately, I've still been burnt so many times in the last 15 years that I just have to go by a game-to-game basis.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, mate, this is one of my main concerns, that we've got Jesus in, quality. Zinchenko, I think it's quality, but we still have such a weak midfield. Gracie, we've talked about this last week, I think it was. And what's your viewpoint?
I think the players that we have brought in, i.e. the two starting players, I don't care about the ones for the future, because realistically, we're probably not going to see them. Jesus, fantastic signing. I'm sure we'll get onto it, but his pre-season's been amazing. I can't fault his pre-season at all. Zinchenko, he's just come in, he's started. I'm excited to see him. We know he's proven in the Premier League, and I feel like he's going to fit in perfectly into our system. And even, that competition for Tierney as well is going to drive him on to do better. So it's going to be a good competition for left back as well. But going into the new season, the window's definitely not done. For me, it's still like a 6 out of 10 window because, yeah, you've got 2 players that we needed in the positions, but you've still got this massive gap, which is the midfield, which has needed improving for longer than any of the other positions. So for me, I feel like we have to bring in Tielemans. I feel like that's our fix for now. I think we will sign him later on in the window, is what I'm seeing from every outlet. Is later on in the window we're going to do it. We know we do business at the end of the window. That's the Arsenal thing. We take long enough. We're going to try and drive the price down as much as possible. But seriously, the midfield is, a concern because that's what is letting us down time and time again. You could have good strikers, etc. But if there's nobody in the midfield, you're relying on the defense too much. And it's just the system breaks down. There's no solid foundations in the midfield. Partey gets injured for half of the season. He's gone. I don't remember him properly playing a full season at all while he's been with us. He's injury prone. He's bad at getting injured, and when he gets injured badly as well. You're not going to see him till the next season. So we need to bring in different options. And like you said, Kenny, it's about having who is he going to fit in. This player that comes in midfielder, let's say if it's Tielemans, is he going to fit in with the Xhaka? Or what if Xhaka gets taken out? Is Lokonga and who's going to fit in here? And it's just a big mess. We really need to get more players in my opinion, for us to have potentially a successful season next season. That's our key. Good midfield. You've got potentially solid foundation up front. The left back situation sorted. You've got Saliba in the back. For me, that's the only thing I'm looking at right now and thinking, do you know what? That might hurt us.
It's my major concern. And we are weak in midfield. We proved it for the last 2 seasons. Xhaka, everybody gasses this guy up, and I just don't get it. I just don't see it. And Partey is injury prone. He's proven it. So when he's fit, he's quality, and I like the fella. But let's.
Sorry, can I just say something?
Yeah, carry on.
Yes.
Carry on.
I mean, the fact we've all mentioned Partey, Gracie did, Kenny, you. We need another Partey. We to have as well a tight play. You know what I mean? Because we're just so worried if he gets injured, we're screwed. I mean, that's all our concern, right? I mean, we just need someone just like him. I can't think of who, but just to bolster that midfield and just to have there just in case.
Absolutely, and he proved it, didn't he? Towards the latter part of last season, he came back from the African nations, and quite quickly after that, his injury, we didn't see him again. We didn't bolster the midfield last January transfer window, and we were weak. And we are still we're 10 days away now from the first match of the season, which we'll get into later, and we haven't still bolstered that midfield. If Arsenal are serious about Tielemans, just go and do it. Let's not mess about. What annoys me so much, we bought in Krusty the Clown and Matt Wright now, and we sent them both out on loan. So what was the point?
Well, there's only one real reason, Jez, is to appeal to the American market, right?
Well, yes, I get that.
To get that in, to draw them in and just get more fans. I mean, what other reason?
Well, I mean, I had a debate last week with a fella from America, and he was saying Matt Ryan was the top goalkeeper in the MLS. And I said, well, that's all very well, but the MLS isn't exactly the Premier League, is it? No disrespect to the MLS, but it's a long distance. Anyway, let's move on. William Saliba back at Arsenal. What I've seen him in 2 games, I think this guy is looking very good. Very good. And so my question is this. We've got him back. Will he play? Will he start against Palace? And I think he should. And did Arteta do the right thing in sending him out on loan for the seasons that he did? So, Kenny, can I ask you that one, my friend, first of all?
Well, the thing with winning Saliba, the biggest elephant in the room, whenever you hear fans saying, oh, he looks $1 million, we'll never beat Saliba. The biggest elephant, there's two elephants in the room regarding William Saliba. If we play 4-3-3, that's that. Where's he fitting? If we play like wing backs and he can get in, the other elephant in the room is Ben White, because we bought this lad for how I say it, bought him £50 million. Saying that he could play across the back four and he could play in midfield, but if you speak to Arteta and you look at our best teams, who Arteta considers to be our best teams, it's always been, Silly, sorry, not Saliba, Benjamin White and Gabriel. So again, the pessimist in me is thinking, well, he's not going to break that kind of partnership up. So the only vacancy at the moment for William Saliba is right back, where they're saying he's got very good pace. So in that respect, yes. But in terms of your second question, was it right to send him on loan? Well, he's going to take credit for that and say, you know what I mean? Yeah, look what I've done for him. He went to France. He became one of the young player of the year. Now he's coming back to us $1 million. He wasn't ready. So he's definitely going to say, well, you know what? Maybe it's the right thing. But we're only going to know that if he does get a run of games and he does settle into the side. Because, for some reason, in the last 3 years, the club, first Emery, and then Arteta didn't feel the lad was ready, despite the fact that we had really serious, defensive issues, especially in Arteta's full season. So for me, we won't know. I'm only being cautious and say we won't know. However, you're talking pre-season. He played Chelsea. It's a derby. You were taking a lot out of that, but Arsenal always look good in pre-season. A lot of our players always look good in pre-season. The Premiership is the biggest equaliser. There's going to be situations where, he has got a lot of pace, but he has to get into his head. Sometimes don't go like a lot of go the same way as a lot of players with a lot of pace, where they make mistakes and they think they got their recovery pace to get him out of trouble. So that is something that he's got to work on for me. But in terms of the partnership between Gabriel and Benjamin White, if they're fit and Tommy Asu's fit, I don't see him in the team, because I can't see Arteta breaking up that partnership between Benjamin White and Gabriel, because there's no indication that he's dissatisfied with Benjamin White. The only maybe it'd be an understanding of Benjamin White, because he's talking about a left-footed centre back, so he's not going to get rid of Gabriel. So there's only really one place for him. So on my take, I know it sounds pessimistic, judging by the encouraging signs that you saw against Chelsea, but I'm just getting the head of the manager, and I just can't see him starting ahead of Benjamin White.
Well, sadly, I tend to agree with you. What are you going to say, guys? There's 102 watching, only 43 likes. Come on, guys, let's smash it up.
Smash the likes up, guys.
Let's get it up to 100. Come on. And there's more joining. So, Gracie, same question to you. William Saliba, you watched the game the other night. You watched the first half, and we were chatting on Insta as we waited an hour for that other game to start.
2 a.m. 2 a.m. I waited for that.
We were both flagging and waiting for it because of the weather, the lightning and thunder and all that was going around. I think he looks really good. I do. I agree with what Kenny's saying, sadly, that Arteta is so stubborn in the way he looks at players that he probably won't break that partnership up. But I honestly think William Saliba would be a lot better than Ben Shite. So 100%. What's your view?
No, I agree. He's definitely better. And what I saw, I was like, wow, this is what I needed last season. This is the player that we needed. And all those mistakes might not saying that would have never have happened, but majority of goals last season that we conceded was because of Ben White, and nobody can argue that. You could look at every single goal that we conceded last season, and he had a role in them, in messing it up somehow. I disagree. I think he will start against Palace, and I think we might see him a bit more than we think, for the pure reason that Arteta, he's a fool when it comes to selection, but he's not, he has eyes. He's not stupid. If he sees a player, he's a manager. He's a football manager at the end of the day. And I would hope that he has the sense to see, right, he's quality and this is the system I want to see. Saliba and Gabriel can build up a partnership with, including Ramsdale. That whole back line, they can all build up a relationship, no problem. They're professional players. No, that's their job. That's their role in the game, is to be defensive and work as a team to not concede a goal. I think he will start over Ben White because he's just levels above him, which is mad to think. You look at the age of them both and you're thinking, wow, like this guy. And in terms of him going on loan as well, now I look at it in two halves. I'm thinking, why did you do that? Like, the selfish part of me is like, why did you do that? We could have really used him, but Saliba's more hungry than ever to prove himself. The boss, he sent him out straight away. He had family issues, but he chose to send him off on loan. Now he wants to come back, and he was like, I want to play for Arsenal. Like, he says it in his conferences, I want to play for Arsenal and I want to show what I'm worth. And he'll do that because he's young, he's hungry, and now he has a reason to, properly compete. He has to compete for his position with Ben White. He has to prove to the manager that he's, worth something and that he should stay and that he's going to be good. So I don't see why he shouldn't start. He's an intelligent player. He's quick. Everything I saw about him, I was impressed about. Apart from a few things here and there, it's pre-season. I'm not getting too excited, but from what I saw last season as well, I think we've got a really good young player on our hands, and we have to use it wisely because he'll go otherwise. He'll go next season if he doesn't get his chance.
Yeah, well, I really hope he starts against Palace. I really do. We'll get into the fixtures in a little bit. Oregon Guna, what's your view on this, my friend? Do you think he will start against Palace? I mean, I've been impressed with the guy. I can't lie.
I think he will start because I think I don't think Arteta's going to mess up the lineup too much after preseason. And the reason why, just to go back, I was given, such high ratings on the transfers because Bill Saliba is someone we wanted for the last 2 years in the squad. If it wasn't for Bill Saliba, I'd be more entitled to say it was a 5 out of 10, or a 4, if not a 4 out of 10. I think Bill Saliba is part of the puzzle that we've all wanted in the back to help get the ball forward, get it through the midfield, and get it up. We have to start him. We have to start him every game. He's levels above Ben White. Ben White is Gracie's absolutely right. Mistake after mistake. I think he's kind of the final piece to the defensive puzzle. Not that they were that great in the back, but he's definitely a step up from Ben White and from Mufasa, whatever his name is, even better than Lauren Koscielny. I mean, Koscielny, I just wanted to strangle him half the time too, Jez. So that's why I give the transfer window so far is such high marks because of Bill Saliba brings another dimension to the team that we've been missing for a long time. And I can totally eat my words come Crystal Palace, he may show up and turn out to drop a turd, but he's just part of the puzzle that I think we've needed. And I don't give any credit to Arteta for loaning him out. None whatsoever. None. I don't think that was
I agree, mate.
Kind of call, right? I think that was things were in place before Arteta even had a chance to kind of even move on to anything with him staying or going. I think that was already pre-planned.
Great comment.
Yeah, I think he's a great fit for the club, and that's why I said I gave the transfer window right now such a high mark.
Fair play. I'm just going to do very quickly this super chat with Dale's Human Resources Department. Thank you, my friend. Always appreciated. This Deadwood situation is going to bite us in the rear. Yep, all day long, all day. Arsenal Alex, same to you, mate. Will he leave? Will he start?
You guys have kind of covered everything, to be honest. In my opinion, okay, I'll give you. I think I agree with Oregon, Laguna, and Kenny that I think Arteta already knows what he wants for Palace. But me personally, I'd love to see Gabriel and Saliba start. If you have to play Ben White, pop him at right back, and because I think, I don't know, something tells me that Gabriel and Saliba could be that partnership we've been crying out for, because we need, they just look like they could complement each other. I'll be honest, I only watched the highlights of the game against Chelsea. I fell asleep, so I did not see all of it, but the clips I did see, I mean, he just looks composed. He just knows when to read the ball, get the tackle in, and he just looks like the defender we really need. And like you, Jez, I want to see him start instead of Ben White. But if we have to play Ben White, pop him at right back, please. So, but you guys have kind of covered everything, to be honest. But that's my opinion. But I want to see him against Palace 100%.
Absolutely. This is an interesting comment from the Rat. So, by saying you're the Rat, are you part of the Rat army? But your negative channel doesn't speak for me, Jez. I think Arteta is a great tactician and manager, really.
Wow.
He's the right man for the job. Well, that's your opinion, my friend. But if you have actually watched my channel for the last 3 or 4 streams, I've actually been very positive. And we are being positive tonight. So I think you've got a very deluded view on what positivity is about, because we're not being negative. We're having an adult debate about what we're looking for next season. We're being positive about the players, Saliba. We're talking positivity about Jesus, and we're talking positivity about Zinchenko. So I think you've got a very strange look on life, young man, and maybe you need to actually go and review your life. But there you go. Arsenal Mania, we've got no wingers, attackers, but the heart of the team is weak. Yes, absolutely. This is the biggest problem. Yeah. So let's move on from that. I'm going to throw this question in there. Edu has made the statement he wants trophies. He made it. He said it. So at last we have a positive statement from Edu. Last season it was, we have no ambition. So now he's made that statement. He wants trophies. So that says to me, if Arteta doesn't get the trophies, he has to go. And Edu, you have to go along with it. Or, Mr. Edu, are you just saying this to protect your own arse? So, Gracie, I'm going to start with you on that one. What's your view on that?
You know, when I was watching the interview, it was very odd because it's not like what we're used to seeing. I was expecting a load of rubbish, but it was like he was telling us what we want to hear as fans. Like, that was it. I didn't see anything behind it apart from, this is the chance I'm going to get. I have to cover my own back, because realistically, what are we looking at next season? He says he wants to win trophies. That's what everyone wants to do. That's the aim of the sport. I have no doubt that, that's what we want to do, but we're not trying hard enough to do it. And yeah, I think he's doing it to protect his own back, because that is clearly, they've been around the owners all week, all of the preseason, sorry. I think that is their main ambition. That is their target. They have to win, otherwise you're gone. I think the owners have had enough. They've given them over 400 million. So surely it is literally make or break for Arteta this season, not just for fans. Even Edu. Edu's not safe now either, because he brings the players in alongside Arteta. So they're all the whole transfer, committee team, the anyone that has direct involvement with the starting 11, they're running out of time because they know fans are getting angry and getting upset. They all know what we say, not just us, but Arteta outside. I know for a fact Arsenal, their media guys, one of their jobs is to watch us, and I know they watch all of us for a fact. And so they know they have a sense among the fans that it's boiling. Everyone's fed up. We want to win trophies. So now he's going to start telling us what we want to hear, because if he doesn't, it's his neck on the line as well as Arteta's. So I don't see it any more than just another PR thing. He was, again, even talking about the windows. Oh, well, we still want to do business, this and that. Well, obviously, we know you have targets. Do them. Stop talking about them in these stupid interviews and just get on with it. Because at the end of the day, Tielemans is going to come in at the end of the window potentially, and he is going to have a very short window to settle in. That's him for the start of the season, the very start when we need our strongest and we have to get off to a good start. We're not going to have that. So I'm not paying it. I've been watching these interviews. I'm not paying any attention to them, because now, looking at everything that's happened last season, the season before, I just see it as we're going to tell the fans what they want to hear. So, we're not going to get in trouble. But I really feel like it's make or break for all of them. I generally think time and money is running out and time and patience is running out.
Yeah, I totally agree. And 120, well, nearly 130 watching, Sterling 60 likes, people. Come on. We're putting this content
Smash the
out.
likes.
Smash them up. Come on, people. And I'm only 7 away subs from 2.5K. So please like, subscribe, and thank you very much. Oregon Gooner, what's your view, my friend, on this? What do you think?
Well, I only caught a few snippets of the interview, but for him to go out and say something like that is pretty ridiculous. I mean, what trophies? Are we talking about the League Cup and the FA Cup? I mean, let's be specific, Adu, which trophies we're talking about. I don't know, man. I got to see where we're at come December when we start talking about trophies. It's just we've been such shit. The first opening 3 games, I go back to last season. We were 19th, 20th, 15th. I don't have any real confidence in Arteta, number one. Like, I don't think many of us here have at all. And I think Edu was just, again, trying to just make some sort of statement as a marketing ploy, or just to have a video clip, about the club. Because, we're coming up right on All or Nothing right now. And, we're going to see more Edu probably in the next couple of weeks than we'd ever want to see him anyway. So I don't know. That's just such a stretch and kind of a dumbass thing to say, especially when, you play Aubameyang at left wing back. And I'll never forget that. I go back to that often, you got to play the players in the right position to even have a chance for a trophy. So Edu can kiss my ass. What are you talking about? Let's be specific.
Totally agree. Arsenal Alex, same, mate.
Oregano Guna, everything you said is so right. If he was a good technical director, you know what he would have done? He said, I'm not speaking to you till after the transfer window is done. The fact he's even doing an interview now shows he hasn't got his priorities straight. He should not be doing interviews about anything to do with the transfer window, in my opinion, until, was it September the 1st it closes, something like that? September the 1st? Because he should be on the phone. He should be busy. He should be making the squad better. He should be bolstering that midfield, getting that other, that Partey old player, getting Tielemans done, maybe getting a right back and getting a striker, because we need another striker. So like Oregano Guna says, kiss my ass, and it's just blah, 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 PR bullshit. It's just, why is he even doing the interview? Shouldn't be doing it. That's how I feel.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Kenny, mate, I know your view on this, but give us a...
Well, the thing about the Chelsea thing is very strategic. The whole like tour of the United States. It's always been a PR exercise. It's come to the back of the, snippets, from the, all or nothing. I call it good for nothing, really. And we just beaten Chelsea. So everyone's on the high. His interview was perfectly timed because on two counts. First, we beaten Chelsea, and he's doing PR for the football club because we're making, this is the first time since 2019 that we've been on a tour because of COVID. So we're smashing it in terms of everything, in terms of the money, the positivity, everything. So that's why he's going to be saying it. Another thing as well, he's got no choice but to say it because he can't now say there's a process and use project. He knows we have to deliver because last season it was when is he going to get his players in? We're still missing those pieces. So if we finish fifth, then that's an achievement. He can't say it next season because we got very close to the top four and he spent a track load of money. Plus, you've seen Tottenham spend a lot of money with Conte, got a world-class manager in. So all the things that that the excuses that he was going to have, at hand last season, he's run out of time. We have to win trophies, but he's been very clever. He didn't say which trophies. He was very non-committal as well about certain things, because he's being like kind of when they were asking, oh yeah, what's the situation? Arsenal going to challenge? He never said we're going to challenge for the league. He kind of waffled his way out of that and started, talking about it. But he did say he started using how do I say it, quotation terms like trophies and buzzwords. When we challenged him about should Arsenal be challenging, he wasn't that specific. So what Sky have done and what people who are positive towards Arteta and to the regime have done, they take snippets out that suits the agenda and says, Edu's very positive. We're in a great situation now. We're going to win trophies. And so the headline is Edu wants to win trophies. But you look at the snippet in the interview and you look at the situation where we just thumped Chelsea, which could be all to no avail, and the fact that there's no excuses now because this is Mikel's team. This is Mikel's team. One of the things as well during the interview, what we haven't touched on is it wasn't just about him winning trophies. It was about him, basically slagging off the highest paid players and saying how he needed to get rid of them because he felt they were disruptive and holding the club back. So he's a bit of tautology in his part because wasn't it him, part of the regime, that gave Aubameyang that contract? You know what I mean? They gave Aubameyang that contract. So a lot of people don't want to talk about that because that was all part. The full transfer is all about that. So it was a case of saying it was Aubameyang and Ozil's fault that it was holding us back because we paid him too much money. Then it was a case of being non-committal about Champions League and then talking about trophy and then timing his interview section because he's talking to everyone now. You know what I mean? He's making himself available to all sorts of people. No doubt he thinks that the fan cams are like bigger than us, that they are the spokesman of the fan base. And maybe the rat is right. Maybe the rat, because Edu's seen some sort of photographs with some, with people in a certain channel. Maybe the rat's thinking we don't matter, and that the majority of the fan base have taken the title Edu wants trophies and gone with that, and that it's very positive that all of us should be muted because we're just thinking, well, calm down a bit. We need it's not too perfect, and that's the problem. Edu thinks he's smart, but proof of the pudding will be next May. Yeah, and let's see if his word because we will hold him to account, not because of what he said, it's because because of the money he spent, and this is Arteta's team. There's no excuses, and he ain't stupid. He knows there's no excuses.
Absolutely, mate. So I thought we'd talk about the first 5 fixtures. Obviously, a week Friday, 8 o'clock. We've got Palace away. Kenny's going. It's always a banana skin going away to Palace at Selhurst Park. I'm looking forward to it. I am really getting excited for the new season. I always do, but for so many times we get disappointed. Kenny, you've been to Palace away loads and loads and loads of times, as I have. Arsenal, Alex has, I dare say. What are you expecting from that, mate? What's your honest, hardened view of where do you think we're going to be?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. One thing is factual. It's always a competitive game there, and if for us to win, we have to play. We have to go through all the emotions. We have to battle hard because they will run us and be at us for 90 minutes. Even if we manage to get a draw, even sneak a win, if we beat Palace next Friday, we'll have to earn it. Because I'll tell you one thing, right? They are probably the most. Even when we play in the Emirates, it's hard work playing them because they've got a lot of good players to the extent that that they're not at our level. But the thing is that they're one of those teams that on their day can beat anyone. And I think that's where everything has to be running smoothly. For instance, our right back situation, they've got a lot of pace and a lot of like energy down that side, Alicia, we don't know who he's fit or not, but Alicia, they've got players like, Eze and of course Wilfred Zaha, still a fantastic player, and they trying to get younger players in and trying to boost their midfield. So they're going to be up for this. Everyone's talking about everyone's thinking, oh, Palace, forget them. They've only been playing Millwall and they only play QPR. But for them, they've only got one injury concern, which is Gay. So for me, we have to be at our best. We can't be like we were last season. And our midfield has to be physically fit. No situations, we have to be perfect on the set pieces because set pieces done us. And that, left hand side where we went lackadaisical. But you look at our first 5 fixtures, I'm sorry, but every fixture up until Man United on the 4th of September is winnable. If Edu is saying that we have to win trophies, and if we're assuming, like a lot of Arsenal fans are assuming, and I think Spurs fans are in the same situation that, well, Chelsea, they got a bit of turmoil. They had a bad pre-season, so maybe there's a vacancy for the top 4. Man United, new manager, and they said, well, we've got to see if we can get how close we're going to get to Liverpool and Man City. If we're going to get close to them, you don't lose to Palace, you don't lose to then Leicester at home, you don't lose to Bournemouth, you don't lose to Fulham and Villa. You've got to win all those games. Simple. I know, and I don't think I'm being unpleasant or out of order to just demand that. I'm not saying it's because we're the Arsenal. It's because that's what we got to do. Because if they do, everyone's being very optimistic and trying to shut down any sort of negativity or pessimism. This is what we say. I'm not setting the standards. Arsenal should be beating these teams. They're better than them. Have to be beating these teams. If you don't beat these teams, then it's going to be a situation where it's going to be either playing for the Europa League, like the Conference League, or just going down the last day of the season for the Champions League place. So there's no room for error because at the end of the day, it's not a top 4 no more. It's a top 6, which means it's even harder. If you make mistakes and lose to the teams you should be losing, the top 4 becomes, like a long distance run, a marathon, which you probably ain't going to finish. So you've got to beat these teams.
Kenny, can I ask you a prediction for that game? What's your win, lose, draw?
You know what? I'm going to be very optimistic. I think it's going to be like the hardest game of the season, but I think it's going to be 3-2 Arsenal. We will concede because, I still think that we're fallible in set pieces. But, I think if the magic man, the son of God, Jesus, is at it and he's, we put him through in goal and he's clinical, we'll score. They'll concede because he's got his shooting boots on. But where's the other goals coming from? Just asking. That's going to be a major issue. Where's because I've always said to challenge for the title or get in the top 4, you need to make 4 players scoring 15 or more league goals. And we haven't had that for years. Hence the fact we haven't even looked like getting the top 4 since 2016.
Mate, I'll give you my prediction. My prediction, I'm actually going 2-0 on that. Gracie Mae, very quickly, Gracie announced something on her show last week. Gracie and I will be doing watch-alongs this year. And the first watch-along will be for the Palace game on Gracie's channel. And so that's going to be something quite new. So make sure you come and watch that. It's going to be alternate, week by week by week. So that'll be quite fun. Gracie, what's your view on this Palace away? We know it's a banana skin. They've done us last 2 years. So what's your view?
I'm very excited for the new season, by the way. I cannot wait to be back to watching football. I'm just bored, basically. I'm fed up. I hate pre-season. I hate the summer break. So I'm so glad that football's back. But Crystal Palace, I see a win. I see a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think we might see a goal from Jesus and Saka. I think I'm going most likely is what I'm seeing. It's not going to be easy, definitely not. But I think it's going to be one of those games where whoever scores first, type of thing, is going to get a hold of the game. And you know, the first game of the season is one of the toughest because everyone's up for it. There's not a single player on the pitch. They're not tired. They've just come back from pre-season. They're feeling fit, you know, especially if they've won their games in pre-season. Morale's high and they're going like, right, it's time to, you know, prove myself to the manager. I want to play the next game and the game after that. So it's going to be difficult. And yeah, hopefully we won't pick up any injuries because that will be tragic. But I'm going a 2-1 Arsenal win away on the first game.
Rare dues. Oregon Gooner, what do you feel, my friend? Are you feeling it? You feeling the love?
I'm very excited for this season, but I haven't felt really confident since about 2008.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, maybe
blame you, mate.
A few games thrown in there over the last 15 years. You guys know what I mean. I'm excited for this season, but I'm not overly confident. But I think we can do them 3-1, maybe nick one at the end. 2-1 will be a fight, and then we can nick one at the end. Saka or Elmer Smith Rowe or Jesus will put one in the bag. I just don't see them defensively that good. I don't know who they've picked up. I know Connor Gallagher's back, but big whoop. I'm not that scared of them, even though they did do us a couple times over the last couple seasons or even last season. But I'm pretty confident in our attack. Of course, our defense and our midfield, not so much. But if Saliba starts, I think that's a huge plus. Yeah, I think we can do them 3-1, 2-0, 2-1, but we're going to beat them. I'm pretty confident we're going to beat them.
Nice one. Arsenal, Alex, mate.
Go on. I'm going to disagree with probably all of you because they smashed us last season. We didn't start well last season, and Palace are quality. It's away, isn't it? It is away.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-2. I think it'll be high scoring. I think both teams will be really up for it. Vieira's just showing he's a top quality manager, and he knows. He could see what it's meant to him to beat Arsenal last season, and he's going to be fired up as well. And I think it'll be an amazing game. And I am excited. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm like Oregon Gunnar says, I'm generally never confident for the start of the season because generally we're never bloody ready. You know what I mean? No. We're just not ready. And in my opinion, we're still not ready because we've addressed the midfield area. So I'm going to go 2-2.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's quite positive. And, you know, people have been here in the chat. Oh, we're negative. Kenny's 3-2. I'm going 2-0. Gracie Mae 2-1, Oregon Gunnar 3-1, Arsenal Alex 2-2. So that's positive. So for all the people that have been saying we're negative, I don't think we're being negative. I think we're being honest and being positive, to be honest.
Being real.
So the next game, Arsenal, Leicester at home. I think that's an achievable result. If we can get Tielemans off Leicester before the transfer window. When does the transfer window end? Anybody? I don't know. When does it end, Kenny? Do you know?
Beginning of September.
Yeah, it's the last working day of
1st of September.
no, it ends on sort of 11 o'clock on the 31st of August.
No, it's,
Right.
it's in. Yeah, I
If
think
we
it's
did
1st of September.
1st of September.
1st of September. Oh yeah, because we got a game against Aston Villa, so it is the 1st of September because game of BT Sport they got a load of games, and then because they got midweek commitments because of the World Cup, so we got games on the 30th and 31st, and then the 1st of September. But that is when the transfer window's going to be end. But it's definitely going to the 11th hour because the simple reason is that one of the reasons it's going to 11th hour because I think Leicester are going to be in a situation as well because Leicester City fans, my mother-in-law works at the football club and they're thinking, well, we ain't signed anyone. What's going on? Why haven't we signed anyone? Because Schmeichel's going to Nice, and that's been agreed personal terms, but they're not ratifying that transfer until they get players coming in. And I think maybe the Tielemans situation could be, we're ready to let him go, but we want incomings first. You know what I mean? I think that could be the situation regarding that. Hence the fact it's going into the 11th hour. It's definitely going into the 11th hour, 100% 11th hour. I'll be angry. Sorry, I'll be angry, right, if we don't get a right back and they think, well, we've done all our business because no respect to Cedric, no respect to Tomiyasu, but come on. Come on.
We need 4 to 5 players, in my opinion.
No, they're not right backs. For me, they're not right backs. Tomiyasu's had a very good season when he played, but when you see Trent Alexander-Arnold and Reece James, come on, you those are the kind of right backs you want, isn't it, at Arsenal?
I mean, those first 5 fixtures, guys. We've got Leicester home, Bournemouth away, Fulham home, Aston Villa home. So let's be fair. We should be winning all of them games.
100%.
All of them. We got out of 4 games, we're at home for 3 of them. So we should be winning all of those. Arsenal, Alex, what's your view, my friend? I mean, after games, we got Man United away.
Yeah.
So
are you talking about just the Leicester game or generally the start?
We got Arsenal, Leicester.
Yeah.
Bournemouth away. I'm going to that game. Arsenal, Fulham at home. Arsenal, Aston Villa at home. There are 4 games there. 3 of them are at home.
What's an important point? We're going to be playing once a week until September. Is that correct? Roughly.
13th, 20th August, 27th, and the 31st.
So it's roughly once a week.
Mm.
So we need to be winning those games because wait till the Europa League kicks in. We're going to be twice a week. And Arteta, it's been over a year since we played generally twice a week. I know we had those fixture pile-up and everything, but I agree with you, Jez. We should be winning all those games. I think the hardest game out of the 5 is the Palace away. In my opinion. And we should comfortably be beating Bournemouth and Fulham. Leicester's a bit more tricky, but if as Edu says, we're going to win trophies, then we should win all those games, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Oregon Gooner, what's your feeling? I mean, I'll recap it. We got Arsenal, Leicester at home, Bournemouth, Arsenal away, and then we've got Arsenal, Fulham at home, Arsenal, Aston Villa at home. So we got 4 key games at home.
Yeah, I think the Brighton game away could be even tricky, just like the Crystal Palace game can be. And I think the Aston Villa game could be tricky. Steven Gerrard has them well set up, and if Coutinho's healthy, he's going to be able to split the defense. Ollie Watkins can score. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Brighton. Those 3 out of the 5 seem the challenge to me. If we get Tielemans, I don't see what Leicester can do. Jamie Vardy is practically on a walker right now. Isn't he like 75 years old?
2 Kennys.
You know, I don't think Leicester's going to do much. But I still think Brighton's tricky at home. We've had problems with Brighton. And of course, Crystal Palace, like you guys said, are going to be tricky, and Aston Villa are no mud. So I don't know, Jazz. It could be two wins, 3 losses by the time September 1st comes around.
Well,
against United, United is September 1st,
well,
or the weekend before that.
I'm not
Man
sure.
United.
4th of September is United.
Yeah, 4th of September. So we could be 2 wins and 3 losses by the time we meet United. But I'm going to even try to be more, positive and say that we can win all of our home games. But it's going to be a struggle against Crystal Palace. What's that?
Gracie, what's your view? I mean, you're always ultra positive, and I'm ultra positive at this point in time. I mean, we've got 3 home games out of 4 that we should win. What's your view?
No, it's hard for me to sit here and predict, to be fair, because I'm one of those fans that I always wait till the transfer window's ended. But if we're talking currently, what we have now, that is a gift. We have been gifted, a good start to the season, and we know how important a good start is. It isn't just about the points; it's the players as well. You have to get off to the right foot, because otherwise they're going to be going into the the next segment of the season. They're going to be down in the dumps, and then they're not performing, etc. So I don't know. We have the first 5 games. I agree with Oregon. It's the Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and Leicester. That's probably going to be the most difficult one. Fulham and Bournemouth, I think we will comfortably win. But Brighton away, we know what they were like last season. Graham Potter has them set up well. But at home, I think our home record was quite decent last season as well. And it'll be good to get back up there and see us. But we have to win those games. Those home games are a must win, and I think we will win them. So I see us getting, 12 points out of them quite happily if the right selection is done. Because if Arteta gets the selection wrong, we haven't got a chance. And if he moves players out of position like Jesus, we know it's not going to work. So it'll be it'll be interesting to see where Zinchenko plays as well. What is his role? So it's the setup for me as well in getting that, success to the start of the season. But no, I'm positive about it. I think we can. There's no reason to say why we can't win our first 5 games, but it's Arteta, and we lost our first 3 last season. So,
exactly.
I'm not saying anything till the window's over, but we're in a better position than we were at the start of last season. So I'm going with, hopefully what should be a comfortable start.
Well, I've got bad news. I'm going to Brighton Arsenal away. I went last year, and that game is the first game I'm taking to my 7-year-old grandson to.
Oh, wow.
But he's with us for the week, and he declared to me today he's a Brighton supporter.
What?
Jez.
Oh, no. What are you going to do, Jez?
Poor brainwashed kid.
And he has his other granddad, who's a Brighton fan, we were going together, has bought him a bloody Brighton shirt.
Oh, no.
Never.
Jez, you're in a pickle.
That is criminal.
I don't know what to do. I might have to just hang him, I think. But no, I'm joking. Obviously, Kenny, let's go through those starting games, man. You're going to Palace.
Got Leicester.
Leicester.
Leicester, look, we're at home. As everyone says, Leicester are not the side they were 2 years ago, where they were a very difficult side to play against, and an excellent team. But last season, I think, with the sales of certain players, injuries as well, they weren't at their best. And plus, they got, it looks like Schmeichel's leaving as well. So we have to beat Leicester. We have to beat Leicester. I think we will, because as Gracie says, the home form has been brilliant. And then you've got the next game is going to be Bournemouth again. Televised game, I'm going to be in France watching it. So, if anyone's got any advice about where I can find a nice? Do they show games in France? I'll go Boulogne. Boulogne. Nice. Yeah, so hopefully the hotel room I'm in is going to have the Arsenal game on, because if it doesn't, I'm going to check out.
I'm in France at the same time too, but I'm camping, so I'm going to have to find some way and somehow to be able to watch the games.
You'll find a way. Don't worry.
How are you doing your watch along, Gracie?
Got a phone. All will be well. I've got a phone. I'll do it from my tent. I don't care what I have to do to watch this game. I will do it.
Fair play.
No, but
anyway, guys, it's been a great chat. Sorry, Kenny. Carry on.
No, I'm just saying. I've got two things to do. On that day, we're playing Bournemouth, and Joshua's fighting Usyk too. So, any advice about where to find and watch the football and the boxing? Give me some help on that.
Kenny, can I ask one question? What do you prefer, boxing or football? What do you prefer, boxing or football? No, I don't have to ask.
No, because I love boxing as well, but football is my passion. I've always Arsenal is like a member of the family. Boxing is just is a passion, which I love because of from being born and bred in Islington. It's boxing and football, but come on, Arsenal all along. It's just that.
Good to hear that, mate.
I mean, it's why you ask, because you see me on boxing channels and you see me talk about boxing. You're thinking, you're not sure what his first love is, because I got passion for both sports, and I like to think I know a lot about both sports. But it's Arsenal all day long. Arsenal.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for coming on. Gracie, mate, give your channel a shout out, please.
No, thanks for having me on. It's always great, and seeing the chat as well. It's always lovely, all the comments you put in. My channel on YouTube, Gracie Mae, nice and simple, just my name. And I cover everything about Arsenal. It's on there. I am back. I'm going live on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll be going live tomorrow. Just for a Q&A, a catch up. I have some questions for everyone in the chat as well, and I'm looking forward. We're going to be doing watch alongs on my channel and here with Jez. It's going to be a great laugh, and I hopefully we'll be laughing at a good result and not a bad one. But no, it's going to be fantastic. But please go over there. I'm currently on 736 subscribers, so
Let's
I'm
get
getting
Gracie
close.
1,000.
Come on,
Let's get
subscribe to Gracie, guys.
A lot more is coming. I'm going to be in London a lot more. Hopefully next year I'll be moving to London, so a lot more is coming up in the near future. So stick around, people.
Nice one. Go and sub to Gracie Mae. She does some great content. Honestly, seriously. Oregon Gooner, where can we find you, my friend?
You can find me on YouTube right here, and you can find me on Twitter at Oregon Goon HD. And you can find me yelling at Lee on his channel quite a lot. We're good pals. We agree on a lot of things, but I'm going to call him out right now and say, you're being negative and you need to stop it, Mr. Gunner. I'll have you, Gunner. No, we're good pals. We talk often. But just, again, Jess, thanks for the offer to come on. I hope to get on again. I can't wait for the watch alongs with you and Gracie, and then I'll switch over to Lee and Ola, and then watch Troops, So everybody's doing the watch alongs, which I think is great. I love the Arsenal family. I love everyone in the chat. There's a few disagreements there, calling me deluded or whatever, but hey, you are whatever. But
Mike, you're always going to get that.
Again, I've been an Arsenal supporter for over 22 years, so I'm no noob to this club. But again, thanks for the opportunity, Jez. Great to see everybody, and Yeah,
Nice
let's
to
get
speak
it. Let's
to you
see
as
what
well, man.
happens. We can only pray to the football god and Jesus to bring
Yeah.
us victory.
Alex,
Jesus and
Arsenal.
Muhammad.
Arsenal Alex, man. Shout your channel out. Where can we find
Yeah,
you?
so it's just Arsenal Alex. You type in YouTube, you'll find me. Generally, I just do quick videos, but I will try and do some more streams. I have to admit, I've enjoyed the break. I've had Kenny on, so maybe I can do something with you guys as well.
Yeah.
And because it's been a real pleasure to come on. And you can find me on Insta, Arsenal Alex #1. And if you want to follow me there. But YouTube, just Arsenal Alex at the top. And again, Jez, thank you so much for having me on your show tonight.
Mate, it's been a pleasure. You know, you do
And a
some
pleasure to speak to you guys, you know.
And go and follow Arsenal Alex, people. He does some great stuff. And pleasure to have you on, my friend. Pleasure. Kenny Ken, massive man on the Insta. Kenny, shout it out, my friend.
Yeah, forget Twitter. Absolutely. Come with his real Arsenal fans and nice people on Instagram at Kenny Ken 1972. Twitter is for the opinionated and cancel culture. I'm on it. I don't know how I've got so many subscribers, but it's cancel culture territory. It's more fun doing the boxing on there. But first and foremost, I want to apologise for any screaming. That was my wife, not because of me, but because she's watching the football. So I'll let you work it out what happened.
Yeah. Fair play. Stan Kroenke says, bring Lee for epic rank. Wait till the new season, my friend. I've got some big news upcoming there. Lee and I have had a chat, and it will be something quite new, quite different. And so wait, Lee at the moment is having a break, and fair play to him. He does it for 9 months a year. And he very kindly came on with Kenny a few weeks ago. Next season, we will be doing something on here. Just saying that, say no more than that. But thanks everybody for watching. Please smash the likes up, smash the subs up. I think I was only 7 away from 2.5K.
Yeah.
It really helps. If you want to drop a donation in the thanks button afterwards, you don't have to. I'm not begging for it, but if you want to, because I'm looking to get some new lighting to improve the lighting on the channel. So I'd appreciate it. You don't have to. If you do, you'll get a special mention. Thank you all. More content coming this week. I'm going to drop a History Channel one, and it is about the most controversial thing that has ever happened in the history of league football. And of course, it's to do with Arsenal. So go and watch that.
Oh, all right. I think
we're looking forward to that, Jez.
You know
I think we know about that, don't we? I think we know. Does it involve Tottenham?
And yeah, it does. And it starts after 1919. And there was so much controversy and so much what went on. And this is believed to be why there is this hatred between Arsenal and Tottenham. But it'll be interesting. I've got it all written up and ready to do it. And Gracie Mae, I'm on with Gracie Mae Friday night. So that'll be good.
Am I still allowed to do quiz? Am I still allowed to compete on quizzes on any of your channels?
Maybe.
Kenny, I was just going to say, mate, before the start of the season, I'm going to try and do another quiz. So I'm going to try and get some other people on. If anybody wants to come on, Gracie, you're welcome. Oregon.
I would lose. I would be bottom of that.
Same.
That would be awful.
But this one will be.
I'll be too afraid to take on Kenny.
What's wrong with this weekend? Oh, if you're not busy.
I'll do it this weekend. I'll do it weekend. Yeah. All right, no worries. I've got it all sorted out. But this is more general football. It's not all Arsenal. It's more general. So everybody's got a chance. There's going to be Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Fulham, Palace. All this. It's a bit of World Cup, a bit of FA Cup. Yes, it's a 30 quiz question. So anybody wants to jump in the comments. You're more than welcome. Come and take on the Google brain, because I'm telling you now, fact, I know it. Anybody pops a question in on Google, it goes to Kenny Ken. There you go. That's the way it is.
So I'm going to pop into Google, Kenny. Are we going to win the league? And you should give us a good answer on that, right?
I could tell. If you ask me who won the first World Cup, I'll be able to tell you, and the opposition, the score. I'll definitely be able to tell you, and where it was held. But I can't predict the future. I can only look at the historical situation.
I'll take my crystal ball back to the store then.
Right, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Please sub. Please smash the likes. It's great to have you watching. There's been loads of you watching tonight, and it's been awesome. Thank you very much. We're going to end the end. People are telling me I've got to end it with the show. So I'll do this and we'll end it. Take care. Love to everyone. Thanks for watching.
I'm relieved to hear that you've been to some far places. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such
It's Thierry Henry, and Henry is magnificent. It's absolutely magnificent. And when you need a goal, you need Thierry Henry.
Suddenly change pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent.